Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Uh, Fine. Yeah, let me start. So let me introduce myself. So I'm Krishna. I have close to 12 years of experience in writing. So I'm into online training from the past close to 9 years. And I have trained many candidates in different technologies. So I'm working on Snowflake from the past close to 3.5 years. And yeah, so I'm currently working as an architect for a particular bank. So these are the different technologies that I have worked on. Okay, so before getting into Snowflake, so I just want to understand uh, from you guys, like, do you have any idea on a database or ETL or any of the reporting tools? So the reason is that the prerequisite for learning Snowflake is SQL. I'll just start my lecture based on that. You can just give a message also in the chat window. Okay, fine. So I'll do one thing. See, for the first 10 minutes, right? If you're already know about the database and all right. Just for the first 10 minutes, it's a basic. Then we'll deep dive into what is Snowflake. So what are the opportunities? So what I'm going to cover in the next like 30 sessions. Okay, so what are the different like technologies that I'm going to like touch on this 30 days? Okay, so you all know, right? Snowflake, basically Snowflake is a database. It's a database. So when I say database, I'll just start with a simple example. If you have any questions, you can stop me immediately. So I'll just take one example, simple example. Let's say there is a bank called Bank of America. So they're giving different services to the customers, right? So they're into insurance, or they're into banking. So they'll give loans to the customers, right? So these are the different services that they are offering to the different customers. Okay? So let's say to store the customer information, they require a database. So they may have like a number of customers. Let's say they may have like 2 million customers, just for the example. So to store the information, they require a database, and there are different services, right? So why they are separated these services? Because each and every service is different, so that's the reason they are differentiated. So in database, if I have to differentiate, so I can call it as a schema. So schema one will be responsible for maintaining insurance related information. So there is one more schema. Let's say schema two will be responsible for maintaining banking information, and schema 3 will be responsible for loans information. So here the point which you need to understand is a database will have schemas. So a database will have different schemas. Why we have different schemas? Because each and every like information, I mean the service is different. So that's the reason we have different schemas. So what exactly schema will contain? Schema will contain objects. What are the different objects we have? So not only Snowflake, we have different databases in the market. So if I have to talk about different databases, right? So we have Oracle, okay, we have SQL Server, and we have DB2, we have Teradata, we have PostgreSQL SQL. So like this, we have different databases in the market. Okay? If we take any database, they will have different schemas and they'll have different objects. So what are the different objects we have? There are different objects like we have tables, views, okay, like procedures, okay, functions. So these are the different database objects of a like any database. So we'll just simply concentrate on the table. So what exactly meant by a table? You all know, right? Table will have rows and columns, right? Yes. Can anyone respond so that it'll be more interactive?
Yeah, Krishna. So,
Yeah.
my name is Suresh.
So
So, I'm primarily, I got your point.
yeah,
Understand.
yeah. Yeah. So I'll just take a simple example. Let's say I'm just taking let's say student number. Let's say student name. Let's say the course, and that's the date of joining. I'll just take only these five columns. See, this is a column. Okay? This is a call as a column. And let's say student number one. Okay? Let's say student name. I'm just taking the names here. So we have Pavan, Suresh, Suresh, and we have Praveen, and we have Saran, Jeffrey. So I'm just taking this, let's say close to like 6 here. Okay, so we have 2, 4, 5, and 6. So let's say the course is, let's say, Snowflake, and let's say there is one more course called Oracle. Let's say Java. So date of joining. So I'm just giving it as 2024. 05 18. So this is called as a table. So this is called, we have like how many columns we have? We have 4 columns, right? We have 4 columns. And how many rows we have? This is called as a row. We can call it as a row or a record. So close to, we have 6 records, right? If I exclude the first line, it is a header. I have 6 rows here, 6 rows. And there is one more important term that you need to know, that is called as a data type. So when I say data type, so if you look at the first column, so I'm storing the numeric information, right? I'm storing the numeric information. So what about the second column? Which information I'm storing here? It's a character information, right? For the first 10 minutes, it will be a pure basic. Then I'll jump to the actual part, because these are the prerequisites to understand Snowflake. So this is a character information. This is also character. What is this? This is a date information. Date information. So there is a term that you need to understand called data type. When I say data type, so if you take any database, so the database which I have listed, right? If you take any database, there are different data types. Okay? To store numeric information, we have number. Okay? So number is the data type. To store character information, we have varchar, and to store date information, we have date. So these are all called data types. So what is the significance of data type? So we are just defining what is the information that this particular column is holding. Okay? It's a numeric information, character. This is also character. This is date information. So we have learned about rows and columns, and we know about data type. And you need to know one more term called on-premise. Okay, before that, what are the different formats of data we have? Have you heard about structured format, okay, semi-structured, and we have unstructured, semi-structured, unstructured, and streaming data. So these are the different forms of the data. We have streaming data. So when I say structured data, you can take an example of a table. So if you look at the Excel sheet, right? So this is one of the structured format, because we have rows and columns, and it is more easier to read. This is called the structured format. So we can take table and CSV. These two are structured format. So when I say CSV, I'll just show you one simple example. Look at this file. So we have a product line and product type and product description. So this is my product line, and this is a product type, and this is a description. Okay? Or else, like, let's take this file, emp underscore CSV. We have employee number, name, job, and all, right? So this is the employee number, employee name, designation. So this is also a structured form. And we have one more format that is called semi-structured form. When I say semi-structured, so have you heard about XML, JSON, Parquet, Avro, ARC, or so these are the different formats of the semi-structured data. So look at this file actually. So can you see .json here? So this is one of the JSON format. So here you have key and the value. This is called as a key value pair. Okay. This is called as the key, and this is the value. Anyways, I'll show you the rest of the files later, but I'm just talking about the different forms of the formats of the data. And with respect to semi-structured, we have these many formats. When I say unstructured, you have your PDF files, images, right? And when it comes to streaming data, you can take an example of a Facebook or a stock market, because the data will change every second, every minute. So these are the different formats of the data. And you need to understand one more term called on-premise. On-premise, and there is one more term that you need to understand, that is called as a cloud. So when I say on-premise, I'll just take one simple example. Let's say you want to start a business. So the prerequisite is you need to purchase the server, right? You need to purchase the server. When I say servers, you need to have a proper hard disk. Let's say the hard disk of, let's say, 2 terabytes, and RAM. So I'll take the RAM of, let's say, let's take 8 GB of RAM. So initially, I'm planning to start a business. So I have purchased the server, and after that, what I need to do? I need to purchase the software, right? Let's say there's a software. Let's say the version is V1. Okay, I have purchased this version and I started the business. Okay, let's say after 6 months. Okay, I feel that my business is not growing. So let's assume you have incurred a cost of, let's say, 10 lakhs. I'm just giving a rough figure. 10 lakhs you have incurred, and you feel that your business is not growing. So you are planning to reduce the capacity. Let's say from 2 terabytes to, we want to go back to, let's say, 1 terabyte. I'm just giving a number. Let's say 1 terabyte, and let's say you're going back to 4 GB RAM. Okay, so this is called, what to say, here you are reducing the capacity. This is called scale down. So the term you need to understand is scale down. So you are reducing your capacity from a higher to lower. That is called as a scale down. And you feel that your business is growing. Okay, you have more number of customers. You want to increase your the capacity. Okay? This is called scale up. Scale up. Okay. See, in both the situations, there is a cost, right? So you already purchased this, okay, but you feel that this capacity is not required for. Okay, so even let's say your business is growing, so you are increasing the capacity. Even here also there is a cost, right? So this is on premise. So in case of on premise, what you need to do is you need to purchase the required capacity, right? You need to purchase the required capacity, and you need to do the upgrade. When I say upgrade, let's say initially there is a version V1. Let's say there is a version V2. So you need to upgrade to the required software, and you need to do the maintenance. When I say maintenance, so you need to take the backups, right? Whenever there is any unusual event happen, you need to be in a position to recover the data, right? You're falling, right? Yes. I'm taking the silence as yes. So there is a lot of to say cost involved here. So to maintain all these things, okay, you need to purchase, you need to upgrade, you need to do the maintenance. There is a lot of cost involved. So to reduce all these things, then cloud is came into the picture. So when I say cloud, okay, so let's say I want to start a business. Okay, what I mean, I don't want to do all these things. So what I need to do is I just need to place a request. So there are different cloud providers. I hope you heard about this, right? Amazon Web Services, okay, Google Cloud Providers, Microsoft Azure. So these are the three cloud providers who are supporting, what to say, different customers. Okay, and let's say I want to start this business. What I need to do is I need to just place a request to any of the cloud provider. So on behalf of me, they are going to prepare an environment. Okay, for me, I don't need to do anything. They'll prepare the environment and they'll give me a URL with username and password. So with the help of these three details, I can able to log in and I can able to work. Okay. So initial cost will be reduced. And in case of on-premise, right? So what you need to do? You need to support 24/7, right? Your server should be up and running 24/7. You don't know when the customer is going to place an order, right? So your server should be up and running 24/7. So there is a lot of cost, right? 24/7 you have to pay the cost. But in case of cloud, let's say if you use it for, let's say, 4 hours, they'll charge you only for 4 hours. So you can reduce a lot of cost here in case of cloud. So when I say on-premise, you have to do the initial setup and you have to do maintenance activities and all. But in case of cloud, you just need to place a request. They'll take care of everything. So any questions so far?
Hi, I'm Rajita.
Yeah.
So while you told us like we need to place a request, right? While placing the request, do we need to provide them the details? What
Exactly.
um yeah, do we need to provide all the details?
Right. Say it's like whatever the hardware that you want, right? So you need to place all the details.
Okay, that means like how much space we need, how much memory we need. Those things will be enough, right?
Yes, that is enough. And what is the software that you want to use? So you need to place all the details.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll explain this in the current slide.
Yeah.
Just look at it.
Yeah.
So now we'll talk about Snowflake. Basically, these databases, right? These are all RDBMs. Okay, RDBMs. These are all relational databases. Snowflake it's an analytical database. When I say analytical database, that data volume is very huge. Okay, it's a data warehouse actually. So you'll have historical information. So here it's a OLTP. It's an online transaction process. Okay, basically, let's say your Bank of America is there from like close to like 50 years. Okay, so OLTP means it will have last 5 years of data, last 5 years of data, and rest of the data will be goes to the your warehouse. That is called as an analytical database. That is called as a OLA. Okay, so current transaction information will be maintained here, and the history information will be maintained in the warehouse. So Snowflake is a database, it's an analytical database. Now, so as such, Snowflake doesn't have its own cloud. So have you heard about Oracle Cloud? Oracle has its own cloud, right? Oracle has its own cloud. I mean, have you heard about Oracle Fusion? Okay. It has its own cloud. SQL Server, it's a Microsoft. They have their own cloud. DB2, IBM. IBM is DB2 is IBM product. They have their own cloud. Okay. When it comes to Snowflake, they don't have their own cloud environment. Okay, so they have to rely on these three cloud providers. Okay, Snowflake is relying on these three cloud providers. So if you look at the diagram, look at this slide. Okay, so these are the three cloud providers who are supporting Snowflake. Okay, and these are the different regions. Why they are supporting? Because Snowflake doesn't have its own cloud. Snowflake is relying on these three. So why Snowflake? Why people nowadays, right? The current market is see the people who are working on Oracle, SQL Server, Teradata, right? So they're upgrading their skill and they're moving to Snow. And even the companies, so they have their own like existing data warehouse. Okay, their data warehouse is on currently on Oracle and SQL Server and Teradata. So they are migrating to Snowflake. Why they are migrating to Snowflake? Okay. So we'll try to understand these terms, why they are moving. So first reason is it's a cloud data warehouse. You can call it as a like database as a service or data warehouse as a service, and you have to pay only for the services that you have consumed. If you use it for let's say like 2 hours, you have to pay only for 2 hours. The storage services are flexible. See, you understood, right? What is scale up and scale down? If you increase your capacity, that is scale up. If you decrease it, it is scale down. So it supports semi-structured data. So these are the different formats of the data: JSON, XML, Avro, and Parquet. And it has integrations with cloud services like Azure, Amazon, GCP. So let's say you have a file in your Amazon S3. Let me just list down. So apart from Snowflake, right? So we are going to like work on AWS, Azure, GCP. Okay, so let's say there is a file in your Amazon S3 bucket. So how you are going to load that in Snowflake? So we'll cover that. Okay, and it has integrations with ETL and reporting tools. So when I say ETL and reporting tools, I'll show you one slide. See, Snowflake is sitting here. It can interact with the different ETL tools. Can you see Informatica, DBT, Talent? So these are all, and there is one more tool called Matillion, which is very popular. So these are different ETL tools. Okay, you can send the data, you can get the data to Snowflake, and these are the like big data tools. You have Spark, Hadoop, Pig, and Hive, right? So you can send the data and you can get the data from these Spark tools. And finally, the data can be moved to the reporting layer. So nowadays, Power BI, they are using Power BI. They will do the analytics on top of the warehouse data. Okay. So it can interact with the different ETL and reporting tools. So that is the advantage we have. And it has integrations with Python. Okay. So we are going to talk about even Python also. We'll see like a couple of examples on Python. So let's say there is a table. How you are going to make use that in Python. Okay. We'll see that also. And it has some advanced features like streams, tasks, and all. I hope you guys have the course content, right? If not, just get the course content and go through that. So I have highlighted like most of the topics here. And along with that, we are going to cover DBT, which is like most popular nowadays, data build tool. So I'll give you the overview. Anyways, I'll come back to this. So this is what I have highlighted. So from Snowflake, you can interact with Amazon, Azure, and GCP. And we have, from Python, you can access Snowflake.
Hello, Krishna.
Yes.
This side is Samrat. So I have one question regarding the indexing. So in Oracle, we need to create a indexing. In Snowflakes, it will automatically create an index, or we are implicitly creating an index at here?
No.
In Snowflake.
I'll tell you. See, in Oracle, we have index, right? We have bit index, bit type index, function based, right? In Snowflake, we don't have a concept called index. We have cluster. Okay. We don't have a concept called index. We have cluster. So when I say cluster, right, generally why you will create index, basically when you're joining with the different columns, so you make sure that there should be an index so that it's a separate object. The data retrieval will be very fast. When it comes to Snowflake, so cluster will be the same concept. Okay, you will create a cluster on the combination of the columns which are used in the where clause. Okay, we don't have a concept of index. We have cluster.
Okay. Fine.
So we'll talk about the architecture first. If you look at the architecture, right, we have database layer, query processing layer, and cloud services layer. So I'll put this with a simple example. So let's say you have a external hard disk with you. You have a external hard disk, and which is of let's say 1 terabyte, and you have like different movies. Okay, you have images, and you have some PDF files and all. Let's assume you have 3 computers. So one computer is of let's say 4 GB RAM. The other one with let's say 16 GB RAM. The other one with 32 GB RAM. I'm just talking about the RAM, and this is the, you can call it as a database. Okay, you have data, right? So let's assume this is a database. Now, so if I want to view this information, obviously if I connect to the computer which is having 32 GB RAM, will be very fast, right? I can like get the data very fast. I can play them very fast, right? And if I connect to a 16 GB computer, somewhat when it compared to 30 GB, it is somewhat slower. If I connect to 4 GB, it is very slow, right? So just take this similar example. let's assume this is your database. Okay. And there are three virtual warehouses. See, remove the keyword RAM and put virtual warehouse. So what is the purpose of virtual warehouse here is, so depending upon the virtual warehouse size, okay, the retrieval time will be, the retrieval time will depends upon your virtual warehouse size. So in other words, if your RAM size increases, the performance will improve. Correct. Similarly, if your warehouse size increases, your performance will be improved. Okay. So the way in which we are retrieving the data from the database will differ. You're clear, right? So database layer will be responsible for storing the data. Warehouse will be responsible for retrieving the data from the database. And cloud services layer. When I say cloud services layer, there are different components here. We have the first one is authentication and access control, the metadata manager. So there are different components. So we'll create a Snowflake account and we'll try to understand these three layers, because these are all very basics. If you know this, you can easily work on Snowflake. So let me go to snowflake.com. You need to switch to snowflake.com, and can you see here start for free? There is an option start for free. If you click on this, can you see the message? Start your 30-day free trial, which includes $400 worth of free usage. So if you create an account, so it will be valid for 30 days. You can give your first name, last name. It is as simple as creating a Gmail account. So you can give the first name and last name. Let's say I'm just giving the first name. Okay. First name, last name. I need to give the email address. Just a minute. And I need to set the company and the role. What is the data engineer? So you're clear, right? First name, last name. You need to give the email address. Let me log into the Gmail. I'm just taking one of my student ID. Just a minute. Okay. Now, let me click on continue. So once I click on continue, so can you see there are different editions here? Choose your Snowflake edition. So let me copy this. So what are different editions we have? So we have standard edition, we have enterprise edition, and business critical edition. So these are the three different editions of Snowflake. So what is the difference between them? Let's say you are purchasing a car. Okay? So you'll have different versions, right? Base variant, mid variant, and high variant. So why you're going with high variant? Because you'll get all the features. So standard is nothing but the base variant, mid variant, and a high variant. So I'm going with the business critical because I want to work on most of the features of Snowflake. And these are the three cloud providers. It's up to you which one you want to choose. I'm going with AWS. So let it be Asia Pacific. Click the checkbox and get started. So they're just taking the feedback. So what is the purpose of creating this account? So I want to do training and certification. And one more thing is, if you complete this course, right, you can easily clear the basic certification, Snow Pro Core certification. Okay, so this is the basic certification. So let me just show you that. So these are the different certification details. So I just highlighted in yellow, right? So the first one you can easily clear. I'll share you the dumps also. So I'll help you in clearing the certification. You can clear the certification. So depending upon your role, okay, if you're already admin, right? So the basic one is must, and after that you can plan to like go with the other certifications. You have architect, administrator, data engineer, data scientist. So many certifications here. And we just talked about different editions, right? Standard edition, enterprise edition, business critical, right? So these are like, I mean, it's very, if I explain you this, it's very hard for you to remember. So I'll come back to this, okay? But for the time being, what you can assume, if you choose business critical, you'll get all the features. Let me click on continue. So it's up to you. If you want, you can skip the steps, click on continue. And Snowflake supports a different language. These are the different languages that Snowflake supports. And it is asking what is your preferred language. Just click on submit. Done. So once I create the account, I'll receive an email. Can you see here? Activate your Snowflake account. So I got one URL here. So this is the URL. So if you want to work with Snowflake, right, you need to have a URL. I got the URL. There is an option to generate the username and password. So click on this activate button. So I need to select the username. I'm just going with Krishna. I'm giving the password.
Krishna, what are you select at the time of standard edition or enterprise edition or business critical? Huh?
I have
Enterprise.
selected business critical.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. No. So I have selected the username and password. Let me click on get started. Let me make a note of the username and password. So I just logged in. Okay. So who authenticated this? The cloud services layer authenticated the username and password. Can you see the authentication and access control? So whatever the username and password that I have given are authenticated by the cloud services layer. So there is a plus symbol here. Click on this plus symbol. Open the SQL worksheet. At the left hand side, can you see databases? We will just try to relate the architecture versus the Snowflake UI. And one more important point is there is a name for it. Okay, the Snowflake UI. This is a certification or interview question. So what are the different UIs that are available? What are the UIs of Snowflake? The one which you are seeing called Snow Site. So the name of the UI is called Snow Site. Okay? And this till December 2022. So you have a the another what's a UI called Classic Console. So earlier there is one more UI that is called Classic Console. Probably I'll show you like the previous batch video. Okay, so where we discussed, where we have given the lecture on the Classic Console. Okay, so it is deprecated. Currently, it is not available. It is deprecated. Now Snowflake is recommended to use Snow Site. Okay, starting from 2023. Okay, so with the free edition, you'll get only Snow Site. Let's say if you say like you're working from the past, let's say 3 years. Okay, so you need to know the name of the UI that is called Classic Console. Now the UI which we are seeing is called Snow Site. So we have databases, right? We have databases here, and we took an example, right? So we have taken this example. So we have a database called Bank of America, and we have different schemas here: insurance, banking, and loans. And we have taken one example, right? We have seen like this is a table, right? This is a table, and we'll just try to create the database and schema and a table. So let me quickly do that. So create database. So my database name is, let's say, BOA underscore DB, Bank of America underscore DB. If you want to execute any command in Snowflake, can you see there is a play button? If you click on this, you can run the statement, or you can use Control N, Control plus Enter. So this is one more way. So I just ran the statement. Can you see the statement? Database successfully created. Let me do a refresh here. I can see a database, right? So by default in Snowflake, if you create a database, two schemas will be automatically created. One is information schema, the other one is public schema. So I have created a database. Now let me create a schema. Create schema. So I have listed three schemas, right? One is insurance underscore schema. So the other one is banking and let's say loans underscore schema created. The other one is banking underscore schema. Done. Let me do a refresh here. So I have created banking schema, insurance and loan schema. So let me expand this. So earlier I made a statement. So database will have schemas and schemas will have objects. Now, as of now, I don't see any objects. Okay. If anyone asks you, what are the different objects that you have created as part of Snowflake? So there is an option here, right? Can you see databases here? You have database. Okay. You have a lot of options here. We'll come back. I'll come back to that. Let me click on databases. I have created a database and I have created a schema. There is an option to create. Okay, let's click on create. So as a Snowflake developer, what you have done? So I have created a table, created views, stages, storage integration, file format, sequences, pipes, streams, tasks, functions, procedures, dynamic tables. Okay. So these are the different objects of Snowflake. So this is nothing but our course curriculum. Okay. So anyways, I have listed everything here. So these are the different database objects. Okay. We'll just simply concentrate on creating a table. Anyways, let me go back to the worksheet. This is my worksheet. See the window, right? The window which you are seeing is called worksheet. So I would like to create a table. And the people who don't have idea on SQL, right? I'll share the SQL videos. So you can go through that and you can get the knowledge. There are like 10 videos. If you go through that, right, you can easily follow my lecture. Okay? So let me create a
So,
table. Create.
Krishna, what are the SQL queries being supported at here? So any Oracle
90,
SQL queries?
90%.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
90% of Oracle queries will support in
Mm-hmm.
Snowflake.
Okay. And another question. So at the time of creation of the Snowflake account, and I have to creating the virtual RAM around 10 GB, or suppose I am using the 4 GB, but my query, when I write a query or execute the query, it will taking exceed of 4 GB RAM. It will taking too much
Uh,
exceeding out of the
mhm.
scope. So in that time, so the Oracle means the Snowflake architecture, it will take care of it. So it will automatically size be increasing to the virtual memory. So
Yeah, I'll
that
come
kind
back to
of
that. I
architecture.
got it.
Okay. Uh-huh.
I got
Okay.
your point. Let me just quickly show you that.
Okay. Okay. Sure.
Can you see there is an option query acceleration? Query acceleration. Let's say your query is taking time. Okay. The what to say the warehouse which you have is not sufficient enough to process the, let's say, the required statements. Okay. It will
Okay.
automatically increases. Okay? This is called as
Okay.
scaling query acceleration. Anyway,
Uh,
there is a
okay.
feature.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yep.
So I'm going to create a table. So can you see here create table? So I have defined the column name and the data type. Let me quickly create. Let me do a refresh. So can you see there is a table? I have a table here. So if I ask you, so how many tables I have? I can easily say that there is one table. Okay. But let me quickly create a couple of objects. Then my intention is to explain you about the one more component called metadata manager. For that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a couple of tables. Anyways, I'll share the script with you. No, if I do a refresh, I can say that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 tables. What if I create a couple of other tables? Right? No, if I ask you, so can you able to tell me how many tables we have? It is difficult, right? It is difficult for you to count, right? Yes, sir. It is difficult for me to count. Okay? So
Yes.
that's where the information schema will comes into the picture. Can you see information schema? So I can go ahead and query this table. Select star from information schema dot table with table underscore type equal to paste it. Anyways, I'll tell you this condition later. So if I run this, can you see a message at the left hand, right hand side? Rows 15. So which means I have 15 tables. Okay. So what is this information schema? The information schema will be responsible for maintaining the metadata object. Okay. Now you're clear, right? So we know a database layer. We know about the cloud services layer, like couple of components, authentication and access control, and metadata management. So what if you want to know the metadata information, you need to go to information schema and you need to query this table. Okay, I have 15 tables. Can you see 15 tables? Let me quickly create a couple of other tables. Look, I'm creating 2 more tables. Now, if I run this particular query, it says 17 records. I have 17 records. So this is about the information schema. Now, one more important point. Okay, to explain you about warehouse, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some small setting here. So this step is not required for you. Okay. So we'll talk about one of the component called warehouse. So can you see here, run on warehouse? This is my warehouse. So if I place the mouse, right, what it is saying, it is started. Okay, my warehouse is started. And at the left hand side, can you see run as a role? I have different roles, right? Account admin, org admin, public, security, sysadmin, user admin, right? These are the different roles I have. So if I have to explain you about roles, right? So let's say I have these many people. Let's say we are working in a company. So let's say I am Krishna. I am the manager. I'm the manager. So under me, Pawan is working. Let's say Pawan is a team. Under Pawan, Suresh is working. Suresh is a, let's say, senior software engineer. Under Suresh, let's say Saran. Let's say Saran is a fresher. And under Krishna, I have one more person, let's say Jeffin. Let's say Jeffin is a consultant. Okay. So in companies, we have the similar architecture, right? I mean, the similar hierarchy. So I am the manager. I will be sitting at the top level. So Saran will be the fresher. He is a least role. Similarly, in Snowflake, if I have to talk about the role, see, Snowflake is a role-based RBAC, role-based access control. So Krishna, okay, I am the accountant. I am the accountant, which means I am sitting at the top level. So under me, there is one more role called security admin. Security admin. Okay. There is one more role, user admin. And the least role is public. Least role is public. and there is one more role here, sysadmin. You're following, right? Just take the similar example. I can say that account admin is the top of the hierarchy. Public will be the least role. See here, the user will be based on the role. Okay, based on the role, the responsibilities will differ. Similarly, see, a manager, the responsibilities of a manager is different when it compares with the fresher or senior software engineer or a team lead. So each role will have its own responsibilities. We'll talk about that. We have a separate session for that. Now we'll concentrate on warehouse. So what is the purpose of warehouse? So I'm running one more command called warehouse compute underscore warehouse suspend. Okay, I just suspended the warehouse. If you come back here and can you see the status? It is suspended. The warehouse is suspended. Now what I'm going to do is I'll just take one simple example. I'm going to insert few records into the table. See, if I query the table, I'm just trying to see the records. Okay, let me run this insert statement. So do you think to run this insert statement, a warehouse is required? Let me run this. What it is saying, warehouse is suspended. Okay, resume the warehouse. Okay, it is saying indirectly what it is saying is, if I want to write the data to the database, if I want to write the data to the database, I require warehouse. Okay, warehouse is required to insert data into the table. You're clear, right? The point which I'm making. If I want to run an insert statement, I require the help of warehouse. Okay. Now, what is my current state of the warehouse? It is suspended. Now let me resume the warehouse. Resume. Okay. So if you look at the status, right, it is started. My warehouse is started. Let me run the insert statement. So now I'm not getting any error, right? So the insert is completed. Now again, I'm suspending my warehouse. If we see the status, it is suspended. One more statement I'm running, that is select. I'm running the select statement. So do you think warehouse is required for retrieving the data from the database? See,
I don't
I
think
want
no.
to, it is yes. Okay. If you want to retrieve the data from the database, you require a warehouse. Okay. There are 2 points here. If you want to write the data to the database, you require a warehouse. And if you want to retrieve the data from the database, you require a warehouse. Now let me resume the warehouse. I just resume the warehouse. Now let me query the data. Now I can see the data. Now you understand the purpose of warehouse, right? So warehouse will be responsible for writing the data to the database and retrieving the data from the database. See, the architecture is very important. Okay? Data will be stored in the database, and by using warehouse, we can write and we can retrieve the data. And this cloud services layer will be responsible for maintaining the metadata and doing the authentication and access control. And did you remember the username which I created, which I used? What is my username? Krishna, right? If you look at the username and password, so Krishna is the username, right? Krishna is the username. I just want to know what is my username. Current underscore user. My username is Krishna. And what is the current warehouse that I'm using? Compute warehouse, right? Current underscore warehouse. The current warehouse I'm using is compute warehouse. What is the current role? What is my current role? What is my current role? Account admin.
System.
Can you see account admin, right? My current warehouse is compute warehouse. My current role is account admin. And what is the current database that I'm using? Bank of America DB, right? Current underscore database. My database is VOADB. What is my current schema that I'm using? Banking schema, right? Banking schema. So you got some idea, right? What is a database? What is a warehouse? What is the purpose of cloud services layer? So any other questions? And let me just list what I'm going to cover as part of this, right? So apart from Snowflake, let me list what you guys are going to learn. So you're going to learn about Snowflake, AWS, Azure, GCP, Python, and we are going to see a real-time scenario wherein we are going to make use of Informatica Cloud to load the data from Oracle to Snowflake. So this is one scenario. And there is one more tool called Data Build tool. So we'll see a couple of examples on Data Build tool also. And I'll explain you like how Power BI, how Power BI is using the Snowflake data. Okay. So we'll install Power BI and we'll try to generate a couple of reports on top of the warehouse data. And yeah, so these are the different questions that I will get from the students. So what is the prerequisite? SQL. Okay. If you don't have, if you're not familiar with SQL, I'll share the videos. I already told you, right? I'll share the videos and it will be daily 1 hour. And it's depending upon the students. So some people say they won't log in on Saturdays and Sundays. It will be from Monday to Friday. And they'll ask you, some people ask, are you going to help me in preparing the resumes, certification and entry questions? Yes, everything will be provided. So any other questions?
Basically, what time got started? What time means
We are planning
morning
to
or
start at 7 a.m. morning 7 a.m.
okay. Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah.
And the next course, the main course will be started from tomorrow, Krishna?
Tomorrow is Sunday, right? So it will be start from Monday actually.
Monday. Okay. 7 a.m.
Okay. Yeah, Monday is also I'll cover the basics. Okay. So then from Tuesday onwards, it will jump into the complete Snowflake part. It's completely like practical oriented. Okay. And the market is pretty good actually. Even if you just search in Naukri or Moz, right, you'll find a number of opportunities.
Yeah. And as we move on with the course, so you will be providing the real-time scenarios and examples, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes, in Japan. Just 1 minute, guys. I'm just slow. Yeah. Go ahead, guys. Yeah. You're asking something. Yeah, Saran. Saran. Yeah, Saran. Go ahead with the question. Samrat, you're asking something. Kishore, Ashwin, and Jeffin, any questions from your end? Guys, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah.
Krishna, we can hear.
Oh, fine. I'm just taking the questions if you have any.
Are you covering a snowpark concept or?
Yes, Snowpark also I'm covering. So even I highlighted it, Snowpark examples.
Okay.
Okay, Snowpark data build tool. We're going to cover Informatica cloud also. Okay, so we'll see some Python connectors, the important topics, material views, functions, procedures, and in real time, right? Your most of the work will be like almost close to 30 to 40% will be on the procedures and functions. So we are going to cover data sharing, caching concept, tasks, streams, or
So after completing this course, which all roles we can apply?
you can work. You can apply as a data engineer or Snowflake developer.
Hmm.
Just go through the course content. Uh, it's available with the management. Guys, you can drop the your email ID here so that I'll share the today's video and the class notes. Pawan, do you have any question?
Yeah, am I audible? No questions, but
Yeah, you're right.
no questions.
Sure. So usually,
Krishna, I have one question regarding the on-premises database. So on-premises means we can accessible within the network, means within the business, right? In outside of the business, it cannot be possible.
right. It cannot be possible. So
It
if it
cannot
is
be
cloud,
possible.
right, you can. Yes, exactly.
You
If it
can
is cloud, right,
anywhere you can accessible. Yeah.
uh,
If
exactly.
you
Yes.
have
So
user ID and password, then you can able to access in outside of the network also, right?
that's
Am I
correct.
right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Okay. So Informatica Power Center is not is a on-premises data on-premises
Informatica Power
application.
Center. Yes,
Yeah,
it's on premise
Informatica
and
Power
you
Center.
have yes, right. Informatica Integrated Cloud Service. It's a cloud.
Okay. 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 Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. We are going to cover like couple of examples on ACS also.
Okay. Okay. Fine. Fine.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah. Yes, Pawan.
So, after this course, can we crack interview? Like, how many years can we show? The,
So that's Snowflake is there in the Indian market from past to like close to 4 years. Roughly, you can say 3.5 years. Okay. So maximum you can climb up to 3 years. See, if you have certification, right, it will be more added advantage for you.
okay, so certification, the basic certification is okay, or any pro certificate is needed to crack
Yeah,
an
the basic one, Snow Pro core certification.
Okay, so are you providing any like dumps for certification?
Yeah. Yes, I will provide.
Great.
So Krishna, I have last but not the least.
Sure.
So I have one
Sure.
question regarding. So
Uh,
if I put so how many years of experience put my resume so I can get a call from a Snowflake developer? So currently the Snowflake is coming to the market last 3 to 4 years, and
right.
we need to show up into my experience in a 4 years. Then I get a job. So we can put it in the 1 years or 2 years of experience. Then I
You can
get
put
a
2 years also.
response call from here. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yes, you'll get even for 2 years also you'll get the job calls. Actually.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Krishna, like, is this course is good in on-site also? On-site opportunities?
Yeah, on-site. Yeah, in on-site also it's very good actually. But in US, right? Right? You in US with single course you won't get a job. That they'll accept they'll expect like many things from you. So they'll expect a
Okay.
Snowflake, ISES, Python, okay, DBT. So okay. So in US market is different. Okay, you need to learn everything.
Okay.
The complete.
Actually, like I have experience with Oracle SQL, VLSQL, and Informatica Power Center. And as you said, like you will be touching the Power BI, Python in this course itself, right? Will this will be enough, or we need to like I need to learn separately all those courses
So if
for
you have,
onset?
yeah, I think if you already working on Oracle, right, it's very easier for you to learn actually. So you have like a good amount of opportunities. No need to learn any other things because my course will cover most of the part. Okay, but
Okay.
if they ask like very in-depth, right, then it won't work actually. But with Snowflake, you'll get the job. If you have like any Snowflake or any SQL Server, or Teradata or Oracle, you'll get the job.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Even I did my so I'm a like data engineer actually. So I did my what to say Oracle certification in 2011. So I started working on the Oracle version like plus like 9A actually.
Okay.
Currently 19C right we have currently.
19C currently there is. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, if you are already a database developer, it's very good for you. Even you can upgrade your skill. Even down the line, like another 2 years, right? Most of the companies will go to cloud actually.
Yeah, exactly. Now itself they are asking for cloud. No, like Oracle is not enough for them. They're telling like opportunities like single only Oracle openings are not
Yes.
that much
Yeah. Oracle,
now.
yeah, it's Oracle is almost closed actually.
Yes, yes,
Yes, they are migrated.
exactly.
Krishna, can you please suggest us like any add-on tool for Snowflake?
Sorry, which one?
Can you please suggest us like any add-on tool, like any
Uh-huh.
BI tool or any other?
Oh, okay, okay. See, I'll tell you let me tell you the combination. If you search in Google also, right? Snowflake with ISES, Snowflake with Python, okay, Snowflake with Matillion, and Snowflake with DBT, data build tool. Okay, so these are the different combinations. And Snowflake with SQL also, you'll get a job. Any database, Snowflake along with a database, any data. See, nowadays the market is right. See, the freshers who are coming from the like BTech, right? They have different branches in what to say in computers also they have specialization, artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science. Okay, so they are coming with a huge knowledge. The freshers. Okay, so the people who are already working it, so they should learn all these things. At least Python is mandatory. So if you know already Power Center, it's very easier for to learn ISES. This material is also it's an ETL tool. This is also an ETL tool. So as of now, if you're already working on a database, that is absolutely fine. If you want to upgrade, right, you can just learn ISES or material or DB. So my suggestion would be go for DBT, data build tool. You have a number of options. Just search for this combination. Okay, you will find a number of opportunities.
So Krishna, we are new to Python and this technology. So how much like, percentage of knowledge is required on regarding Python?
See, basic.
Like only
See,
some
basics.
libraries are required, or all the complete Python course?
No need to do complete Python course. See, you need to do a basic and advanced. That should be fine actually. I'll share you, and generally I used to share one material with the students, but that will cover the basic and advanced. That should be fine actually.
Okay. So is this related to PySpark?
PySpark, see, PySpark is different actually. See, you can rewrite entire ETL code in PySpark. Okay, so you're talking about Snowpark.
Snowpark, I don't know.
No, we have one thing called Snowpark here.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we have Snowpark here. The PySpark is different actually. So PySpark is nothing but, say, earlier days, right? You have Scala, right? Have you heard about Scala?
Yes.
You have Spark. Yeah, you have Spark with Scala. That is a Spark actually. Nowadays, what they are doing is Spark along with Python. So instead of writing this code in Scala, they are writing in Python. So that is a PySpark.
PySpark, yes.
Yeah, that is PySpark.
So, is this overtaking to PySpark profiles?
No, both are different actually. Both are different actually. PySpark is different. This is different. See, Snowflake is it's a ELT tool actually, extraction, loading, and transformation. And PySpark, you can implement like the ETL concepts in PySpark.
It's complete like data engineering. Right?
Oh, right. If you have idea on PySpark, that's good. See, my suggestion would be like no Python and Snowflake or any database. That should be enough actually. You can easily learn any new techniques.
So how many sessions of Python you are going to include in this course? The basics.
See, total we have 30 sessions actually.
Okay.
So I will show
About
you.
this about the Python.
No, Python. I'll take like a couple of sessions on Python just to show you the examples how the real-time world will use Snowflake data in Python. I'll share the document and then you can go through that. You'll get. The major focus will be on Snowflake, and along with that, what are the different like tools or different stagings that we are using in the real time. So I told you, right? So we're going to cover all these things. Snowflake, AWS, Azure, GCP, how to create account with AWS, Azure, GCP, and so for Python, right, we are going to make use of PyCharm actually. So I'll take one session to create all these accounts. So any other question?
Last question here. So
Sure.
why Snowflake compared to AWS, Azure, and GCP or some other cloud providers? So why Snowflake?
Yeah. See, if you take AWS, right, they have their own ETL. Have you heard about Glue?
Yes.
They have their own Glue is they have their own what to say ETL tool. Okay.
Yes.
But there are some what to say let's take this scenario. Okay, we have Oracle code, SQL Server, Teradata. Okay, we have their existing database. Okay, so generally in any database you have procedures, functions, packages, right? So entire logic will be there in the procedures and all. Okay, so when you want to migrate and when you want to rewrite the code, right? Snowflake supports 90% of the syntaxes. If you take SQL Server or Oracle or Teradata, it supports 90% of the syntax. So that is one advantage. And one more thing is the computing power. So I told you that we have different warehouses here, right? Let me show this. Go to warehouses. Let me click on create a warehouse. So can you see the warehouse sizes here? See, you can like 2 GB, 4 GB, 6 GB, 8 GB, 32 GB, something like that. Okay. So it's kind of a t-shirt size. Okay. Extra small, medium, large, X. Okay. So this extra large and all, right? Maybe this AI people will use. Okay. Artificial intelligence. Okay. When they're dealing with huge volume of data, they're going to use this. So our production is of medium. So this is one more important point. And one more scenario is automatically we can scale up and scale down. Okay, whenever you want, you can scale up, and whenever you want, you can scale down. The flexibility is there.
Okay, same as AWS T1, T2 micro mini, right?
Yeah, that is fine. See, we have a lot of similarities. Okay, and one more thing is Snowflake is if you take Oracle, right, you have to do partitions manually, right? You have to do a range partition, list partition, hash partition. But in Snowflake, it's a automatically it will be do the partition, and data will be in a columnar format. If you take other databases, it's a row level actually. It's a columnar format. So reading the data from columnar is very fast, and it has like advanced features like streams, tasks, snowpipe. Okay, there are a lot of advanced features here. So you can compare like if you take any AWS or Azure, right? So whatever Snowflake does, they'll do the same. Even you take Google BigQuery, right? These are the competitors. Okay, Google BigQuery. Okay, and there is there is one more thing, Firebolt, I guess. Okay, so these are the competitors actually. But most of the market, if I say like almost close to 30 to 40% of the market is occupied by Snowflake. If you want to get a good idea, right, I'll just show you. Slide. Just if you have time, just read this document actually. Okay, polar slate. Okay, so what it will do is if you take any database, it will automatically convert the entire code to the required deep. Okay, so from let's say you have Oracle, Teradata or SQL Server or DBT, whatever may be the database, it will automatically converts everything to Snowflake. It's LTM entry product actually. And you'll find a number of opportunities in LTM. If you have certification, you can easily get a job in LTM. So we'll discuss probably in tomorrow, maybe after tomorrow, we have one more session, so which covers the basics of Snowflake. So we'll try to understand like more deep dive into like what are like unique features of Snowflake. Okay.
Okay, Krishna. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Krishna. And Krishna, you will be sharing the SQL videos?
Yes, I'll share. Just drop me your email ID. I'll give you the access.
Yeah, sure. So I'm from MuleSoft background, so I have a requirement to work on this one. So just trying to learn this one. So I have a basic knowledge of databases, but yeah, just want to go through your videos so that I get some knowledge on SQL.
Sure. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank
you. I'm going to share this video.
Yes.
Any note
in about like So probably I think they are going to create one common path actually. So there they will upload the videos. You can go through that. they'll share the videos in some time, like probably in 1 or 2 hours, they'll share the video.
Great.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Kish.
Thank you.